Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and with this completely different review on this channel, we're going to be looking at the Newage Ark core scenery set. So this is a little bit like a Tarantino movie. This is the end at the beginning, but I felt that now once I'd built it, I needed to give the video a completely new intro. And the reason for that is when I did the original intro, it was before Christmas. Before I go any further, I just want to say that in the last year or so, I've reviewed over 70 different Newage products, and every single one of them has been absolutely fantastic. Their build quality has been great. I've never had a single issue with them. However, with this, maybe it was a little step too far for them. I'm not too sure. Basically, so what was in this box? I know you can partially see it all. You're going to see the building up of it. You're going to see the proper review and everything, obviously, at the end of the video. But inside this ginormous box, for one word, I suppose the best way to put it is it's knockoff Lego to build a huge Ark diorama set, which in theory sounds amazing. But the problem, the reason why it's took so long is I've had missing pieces, I've had wrong pieces. I believe another couple of subscribers who subscribed to the channel had the same problem as well. The build quality of it, I'm going to be completely honest, isn't the greatest. And as I say, it's such a shame because I think Newage's products are actually really good. But as I said, I felt that I needed to give this a completely new intro because the original one that I did was nearly 6 months ago now. So yeah, what we've got with this particular video is I've broken it down into stages. I've managed to work out in time lapse. There's a couple of bags. There's one bag where you're making the doors, which is going to be missing from it, and that's because I didn't do time lapse on it, and it was running at 23 minutes just to make the doors. So obviously that's not going to be in it. I think on the overall, what I really want to get across is it's a very unique thing. I think it's something that could have worked much better. But I also will think that a lot of the problems that I had are perhaps out of Newage's hands because they must have, you know, brought in another company to do the Lego things because their toys are great. But what you're going to see now, I've stopped in between each sort of bag to give you a bit of a run through to see where you're at. You can see it going through. They've got my little boy helping out a couple of times as well. And then you've got the full review when it's fully built at the end. And the ironic thing as well is, which you'll see at the end, is I think it scales way better for Doctor Who figures than indeed Newage. But that's I suppose the new intro for it. Hope you enjoy watching this. Don't worry, I'm not going to go, even though I love Lego and I like building Lego with my son, that's probably the only Lego review you're going to get on here. And that's the thing that I suppose was a little bit more, I know I've carried on, more annoying for me. I mean, I love building Lego, and you'd have thought that I'd been more excited than anything to build this particular thing because it's Ark, it's Transformers. But there was just so many things, and as I say, you'll see that on this actual video now. And it's as honest as I can be, so you'll get a full inside as I say, theory of how I was building it up, and see what you can make up your own decision at the very end. But otherwise, once it's built, is it worth it? Let's find out. So this is bag one. It's taken, to be honest, it's taken probably 45 minutes or so just to get this. And thankfully it looks like all the bits are there. It looks all right so far, but we're going to move on to bag two now. And again, if I'm being honest, it doesn't feel too great. I mean, you can definitely tell obviously that it's not real Lego, but it'll do. It looks all right. This is only bag one. Let's carry on with bag two. So this is bag 2, and I think you can pretty much make out what we've got going on here. So this is both sides of it. It's been a bit of a pain, I'm not going to fib, because as I say, the plastic quality does feel a bit, yeah, it's a bit, it just feels a bit brittle, but maybe it's because I'm rushing a little bit as well, but we seem to be okay. That's the 2 main things done. We're going to move on to the next bag. So that was bag 3, but you probably noticed we had to open bag 4 as well. There's just so many problems with this set. I wish I could be more positive about it, but the reason, number one, as I say, as I said in the intro, why it took so long is because it was missing pieces. We had to get them sent to us, and yet there still seems to be pieces missing from here. I've cracked a nail again. I know I keep saying it, I don't sound like a broken record, but it's just so flimsy, and yet on the same hand, I don't know. I love building Lego, especially with my son, but this, I've got to be honest guys, this is not fun at the moment. But we are going to move on to bag 4, and we're going to persevere anyway. So, and already you can see that we've definitely got at least one more of these pieces here that is not in that bag. So unfortunately, it looks like it's still missing pieces, and that's the negative thing, which for Newage is a pain, because my experience with their actual figures is fantastic. But at the moment with this, it's just all negative at the moment. But let's persevere and let's move on to the next bags. So I've made a mistake. I've recorded all bag 4 on normal speed, and for obvious reasons you don't want to be watching all 25 minutes of that. But it was just the doors, and I'm really pleased to say that they all came together, no issue whatsoever. So I've got the last 4 seconds of me sort of putting it on. But yeah, bag 4 went absolutely fine, I'm really pleased to say. So let's crack on with bag 5. So unfortunately, it looks like I've hit yet another stumbling block, because on the instructions it's saying that we need these, which of course are the same colour as the rocks, but we've got these, which aren't the same colour as the rocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some more bags and hope that that works. But at the moment, as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm getting a bit tired of borrowing Lego from my little boys, etc. And it's just not good. Anyway, let's see if we can find some more pieces. If not, we might have to just revert to them. I can see one in this bag, but we need quite a few of them. Let's just see and hope. Right, so check the other bags, and there's nowhere near enough either just to make it. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet. I'm going to have to use these, I know that they've definitely put the wrong colours in because I've gone through the rest of the instructions for this particular bag. There's the exact right amount and there's no uses of the dark grey at all. So unfortunately, I'm just going to carry on. To be honest, I just want it done. So let's get back to the building. So we're pretty far into it now, and it's just such a shame I've had so many problems with it. I mean, you can see here, yep, that it's going to work. That all works fine. But yeah, they are clearly the wrong colour pieces. So I'm going to have to send yet another email to get the correct colours sent, because they were the only pieces that were in the bag. But there you go. So we're on to bag 6 now. I think pretty much the majority of it's done. Obviously, we've got to build up the other side, get the main arc on the front. But let's be honest, we're well on the way. So we've come to the end of another bag, and yet again there's another piece missing, but this is looking all right so far. There is the front of the ark. I'm just going to open up all the bags now because there's only a few left, and hopefully there's some there. But yes, coming together nicely. On to the next ones. This was the piece that was missing because we couldn't do 2 of them. We could only do the 1. So let's hope that it makes up for itself in a second. So here it is, the fully complete built up ark. And as I said, you probably tell from the intro, it was definitely a real chore. Now it looks impressive, as I said at the end. You know, I think perhaps it's worth it once you get it there. Just don't expect to be doing it anytime fast with the instructions and stuff. And I suppose just to again show you, it's a complete Lego knockoff. Even the tool itself is exactly the same, just obviously without the official bits on it. So the dimensions of this is quite big. So what I want to do is I've got some figures ready just to show you, for those of you who collect mainline, to give you an idea of how big it is. So that's a Voyager class figure that fits right inside there. I've actually got some old Combiner Wars just to the side, so it's a bit taller than the Combiner Wars, but the main things, I mean, it's supposed to scale, and I'm going to get down and I'm going to put the camera on the stand in a second with these figures. So these are the Newage figures. That's your standard Optimus Prime, or David as he's known, and this is the special limited edition version of him that comes with the Ark set. This is the dial that you turn to open the doors, so that all works absolutely fine. It's a great little thing, to be honest. As I say, perhaps if they'd adjust, I really don't know. As I say, I'm in complete two minds with it, because now it's built, and of course I'm looking at it, I can see that it's much better. It's not fully closing typically, but as I say, when it's in hand and when it's built, it's definitely worth I suppose the hassle of getting it all done. But again, some ideas. Maybe if you don't want to use them, you can use some normal core class figures, which again, I think core class, to be honest, they tend to fit quite well in here, which you can see there. That gives you an idea of, I suppose, how big they are. All right, let me just put the camera on the stand just so I can bring some more of the figures in. So there we go, cameras on the stand. Let's have a proper look at this. And if I just pull back a little bit, I'm pretty sure you'll probably agree with me as well. I mean, I think that, or are they too small? I think the Doctor Who figures just scale really, really well with this. You can bring in, I've got a few of the other jets as well, which they do. I'm not too sure now I'm saying that. Please let me know in the comments. Now, the good thing what Newage normally do is they normally scale everything absolutely spot on to the way it is in the cartoon, but I'm not too sure. I actually think perhaps it could be actually Hasbro's own core class figures. I'm not too sure. But oh, let me get Grimlock standing up. That's again giving you an idea, I suppose, of just how big it is on the inside. It's definitely no good for G1. G1 is way too big, completely too big. Comes out on the roof for there. Iron Factory, again, I'm not too sure. Iron Factory perhaps, because of course it's another third-party company, but there's not much more to say about it. Once you've got it built, it is just a diorama. I suppose you'll find some people who are really clever and they're going to be able to maybe put a couple of LEDs in it or something like that. Once it is built together, it does feel quite sturdy. I must be honest and say that, even though getting together, as you probably saw in the makeup, some of the sides and all that, how they all sort of came down, etc., and just kept falling apart. Once it's actually built, it is sturdy, it is robust. I've brought this up from the kitchen table all the way upstairs, no issues whatsoever. And I'm going to be transporting it to TF UK Con next week as well. And again, I've got no issues about that. So once it's finally built, it feels quite sturdy. It's just the getting there. That's pretty much, as I say, all I've got to say on it. Long process, different review for this channel. Hope you enjoyed watching it anyhow. Again, if you wanted to get this, it is now heavily discounted on Shozy. So you could perhaps get it as a mini project, or again, maybe to use for your core class figures as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be Newage, even if it is targeted at them. I'm sure you'll agree just by looking at it that it does work really well with the core class figures. I think it really does, to be fair. So maybe this is something that Hasbro could look at themselves and perhaps look at doing, maybe improving it. Who knows? Because they have, of course, teamed up with Lego with Optimus, and I believe we're getting Bumblebee this year. But there we go, guys. I don't think there's anything more to say about this. This is your Newage Ark, and it comes with the special translucent scanning version of David, which again is an Optimus Prime figure. There you go. Let me know what you think in the comments. Take care.